Hello, LaRude is back as well. Hi, LaRude. How are you both doing in there in chat? I've been live for 30 seconds. I left it alone. Whoops. That's not really how Twitch works, I suppose, but never mind. Getting back in, I thought I would mess around with some code today. Hope that's all right. Let's try and get this IDE thing set up in any sense nicely. There we go. So this is some code that I've got that I want to mess around with. Don't really know. Hi Barry. I'm having a good day, thanks. This weekend I have some DIY. I'm trying to paint a wall without making too much mess. So that's always fun. I hope everyone else is doing well too. So this is some code that I'll explain in a second, but it's doing a thing, and my plan for this afternoon is I'd like to mess around with it. I've messed around with this sort of thing before a while ago. I've got some ideas about messing around with it in different ways. So I'll do that as a chill maths thing. It's nice, you see, because there's kind of a bit of dynamics here that you can describe, and my very, very stupid basic code can make it do little animations like that. Is that even an animation? I guess it's sending animated stuff. It's so stupid that's just plotting graphs as fast as it can over the top of each other. So the problem works like this. Let's edit command what, because that's always fun. We are exploring something called pursuit. So a pursuit problem is where things are chasing each other, and sometimes you get these beautiful spirals, and sometimes you get other stuff going on. Let's just check that I've done that right. Yeah, that's pretty bare bones. I might edit that as we go. I might re-edit that as we go through. So in this scenario, in the corner, the idea is that these 4 points at the corners are chasing each other around. So the one in the top left there, I'm going to put it on the screen. The one on the top left is aiming straight at this one. I don't know, like it's a dog chasing a rabbit or something. And it's always trying to run directly towards where that one is. Let's watch it go in again. So it starts off running straight down, but as that one moves, it's aiming more inwards, like this, over to wherever it currently is. It's not clever. It's not predicting where that one's going to go or running towards the middle or anything. It's running towards exactly where that one is. And that one's chasing that one in the same way. So I guess rather than being like a dog and a rabbit, it's 4 dog rabbits that are chasing each other on the way in. And at the moment I've got them starting at the corners of a square because that's kind of the classic version. Sometimes these are called chasing mice or dogs. There they go. So this is rather nice, and this one on the screen at the moment is quite well understood. There's this kind of nice logarithmic spiral vortex of dogs. They spin faster and faster as they get towards the middle, which we can kind of see. I can zoom in on this graph, so we can zoom in. It's got this kind of self-similarity going on, so that zooming in doesn't really change very much. It just rotates the picture. If I zoom in enough, you can see how they're getting close to each other in here, and they're going round and round quite a lot of times. Yeah. If I zoom in, it's kind of disorienting because it's kind of just rotating. Until if you go in enough, you can see that I'm doing something pretty stupid, which is just Euler integration, just doing a step in the right direction. One thing I could do today is code this up in a more intelligent way. At the moment, it's quite slow to run. It's doing something quite stupid in a for loop. I've got this end max is 1,000 for 1 to 1,000 here, and in they go. Which is, if we're going to do a lot of these, then I might want to speed that up. But my other plan is just sort of mess around with the starting conditions, like the starting shape, because this is very nice and very well understood. It's got a spiral shape. but I've read a little bit about people doing this with triangles instead. So I've got a triangle. Let's have a look at the triangle. So starting them at the corner of a triangle, and this one's kind of different in a way that I can't really make precise yet. And something that would be nice this afternoon is if I found a way to make this a bit more precise. So here come the three dogs from the corners of a triangle. I think I've started them at a, what is that? Those are their x coordinates, those are their y coordinates. So I guess this is an equal, no, it's a right angled isosceles triangle. And this kind of, it's a bit different. Like each of the dogs does something different. It's not symmetric in the same way. So a right angled triangle has a line of symmetry, but then the orientation of the spin breaks that reflectional symmetry. So there's no reason for this dog and that dog to do the same thing. If you like, this dog is chasing a special right-angled corner dog, and that one is chasing a different sharp corner sort of dog. And those kind of different. So these curves are all different from each other. And there's something really cute going on in here, where this poor dog in the bottom right corner comes in and does this kind of sort of U-turn around like that. And then it's really hard to tell what's going on here because this is where my dots let me down. But I think it's doing a U-turn and tucking in behind. So one thing I might like to try and do this afternoon is to make that a bit better, to try and understand, whoosh, is that really what's going on if you join the dots on the way in? And then there's this weird bit here where they get close enough together that my code kind of breaks down. That's a weakness of doing the dots. It did look better, didn't it? Or it looked different. The spiraling one was nice and symmetric and lovely. This right angle triangle thing has done something a bit different. So I want to try and play with that and see. I don't have a way to make this precise at all. That's kind of the idea. But sometimes it spirals and sometimes it collapses like that. And I'd like to try and find out when. Let's try doing one where I start with a wider triangle. In fact, let's be fun. Let's do the 3, 4, 5 triangle. 0.6, 0.8. That's a 3, 4, 5 triangle, right? So different triangle. This one's taller than it is wide. Will it spin or will it collapse in a U-turn sort of way? Sounds like a poll that I should do for the audience. Nah, maybe not. Okay, that's pretty similar to the previous right angle triangle that we saw. Oh, it's not happy. It's still going. Haha. Some weak code I should rewrite. I wrote the thing that's currently running. I wrote in a hurry about 10 minutes before going live. So this looks similar to the previous right angle triangle. It's a different triangle. It starts from 0.6, 0.8, but it's doing something similar with this kind of U-turn. Maybe that's not surprising. It's a pretty similar triangle, isn't it? I think if you start with a equilateral triangle, then everything's nice again. It goes back to being a spirally sort of situation. So then, hard question, do I know where the corners of an equilateral triangle are? I think I do. So I can show you an equilateral triangle. The equilateral triangle. So I need to, what do I want to do? 0, 0, and then 1, 0. And then here's the tricky one. 0.5, and this would be √3/2, which is like 0.866. Oh, hang on, this is a computer, it knows about square root 3. It's the height of a triangle? Yeah. So equilateral triangle, I believe everything is nice and rotationally symmetric again. And then somehow the rotational symmetry, like how a square is rotationally symmetric, that's the thing it's got in common. Maybe that's relevant, maybe not. And this is quite nice. So that sort of goes in like that. So that's beautiful, right? None of the dogs is doing a weird whoop U-turn. They're spiraling inwards. Why wouldn't it let me zoom? It's not very happy with me zooming. It's kind of still running. There is a separate question about how long this takes. Like how long does it take for the action to take place? And I think that's well understood for the square and the equilateral triangle, but not something that I know for other shapes. So maybe there's a question there. Right, why is my zoom gone all weird? Why has everything gone so weird? Hello? There we go, now it's letting me zoom. There we go, okay, so this is nice again. So it's doing some lovely spiralling until it gets down to this kind of scale. We're never really going to see anything nice on this scale with the dots. If we care about this sort of scale, I should probably write something more clever. Whee! There you go, so zooming is kind of the same as rotating because of the self-similarity again. So I'm kind of interested in the difference that we've got here between sometimes it spirals, sometimes it collapses. I've got one more example that I wanted to show you. So we saw square. We saw square. Here goes the square again. It does a nice spiral thing. And squares have got lots of symmetries, including rotational symmetry. And this one's very nice. Gosh, it takes a long time to run, doesn't it? I should probably write something better. I have some parameters I could tweak. So it's currently doing like 1000. Nmax is the number of dots it's going to draw. How many times it's kind of playing it like a board game. Move all the points, draw them. Next turn, move all the points, draw them, like tick, tick, tick. It's got a frame rate. Yeah, watching it happen is kind of nice. I don't like the way it then takes a further bit of time to load the bit of UI that does the zoom, because I always want to zoom in, see what's going on. So maybe I could do something clever about that. Is this a clever stream? Is a tricky question. Let's take that and do a kind of rectangle. So if I make this narrow, yeah, then you get this kind of rectangle shape. So place your bets now. I should run a prediction really, shouldn't I? But place your bets now. So it's going to spiral nicely, or is it going to do a kind of U-turny kind of collapse? Oh, I really should try and make those precise. Bip. So I had, before I ran this the first time, I thought the rectangle would be really nice and do something nice and symmetric, because rectangles have got rotational symmetry a bit, but it's not nice. Really, it's got these U-turns in it again. The U-turns have got a name. They're kind of this kind of famous thing. They remind me of a famous thing anyway. Maybe that's the precise statement. I would really like to zoom. I want to show you these U-turns sort of bit. We should do predictions. There's a rotational symmetry of order 2, and that's preserved in the solution, if you like, the solution to differential equations, whatever we're doing here. But it doesn't do, I guess obviously it doesn't do rotational symmetry of order 4. It can't. The starting configuration doesn't have rotational symmetry of order 4. But then also it doesn't do lots of spiraling. You could imagine a kind of two-armed spiral going around infinitely many times or something. You can imagine it, but it's not what happens. Which, I don't know. Right. Okay, so I think I want to try. I want to try some isosceles triangles. I think it's my set list. Oh, it's finally zoomed. There we go. Onto a blank bit of canvas. Great. There we go, there's some U-turns happening. It's a little bit weird. Okay, so this is, I don't know what's going on the left, but on the right you can see a, just there. Comes in here, turns around, goes out again. I think my set list, come on, do this. Oh, it's the other one going round the long way. Okay, good. I think I would like to do isosceles triangle. I would quite like to have a look at pentagons, maybe some hexagons, and then like n equals 20 or something, like 20 of them. I think these would be fun. Yeah, Herbs requested a pentagon in chat. Right, let's bump that up the order then. And we'll do a poll, I think. So, let's label these so that I can actually find them again later. spelling is not my strong point. Tringle? Look, it's a comment, it doesn't have to be spelled right. Right, Pentagon next. And let's do a poll. I should give you a couple of minutes to vote on a poll, shouldn't I? Start a prediction. Right, so I put the question in there. I still haven't worked this out at all. Will it spin or U-turn? Outcome 1, spin. Outcome 2 is like U-turn. And outcome 3 is like something else. Let's put option 3 in. Else. So you can have a minute. You can have 2 minutes for that while I code this up. Got it. Okay, good. Mods who have voted will not be able to confirm the result of a prediction. That's a nice sort of anti-corruption thing. Right, I've got 2 minutes to work out where to put the corners of a pentagon. Luckily, I know a trick for this. From the roots of Unity, the complex numbers which have that number to the power of 5 lie on the corners of a pentagon. And if you use polar form for those complex numbers, then it's not too hard to work out where they are. Said differently, I'm going to bring in a new variable, z, which is going to be something like, I want the numbers 1 to 5 for my 5 points, times, I guess, 2i pi divided by 5. So I think these things, if you raise them to the power of 5, right, then you'll get a multiple of 2 pi I, which is 1 up here. So then this is just simply going to be that, and that's going to be that. This is a bit hacky because I'm using some complex numbers here. It's going to be quite hard to do a different pentagon, but I think this works. Okay. Pentagons plural. We'll see. Yeah, you get points just for watching, I think. Is this a poll where, I can't remember how I set it up. This might be one where you get to make extra votes if you pay some points. I've got 13.2 thousand. So the tricky thing is coming up with like things for people to do with the points, because what do points make? Prizes. What prizes have we got? So your prize is sort of faintly cheating at democracy. Is this a prediction thing where everyone's voted for that? Yeah, everybody's voted for the same thing, so everybody just gets their things back when it starts spinning, right? Maybe the next one will be more fun. Let's go. Okay, regular pentagon. First, that was a good regular pentagon. Yeah, it's got rotational symmetry, right? I have a physical piece of art of the pentagon one given as a gift. Yeah, I've seen this before. Looking forward to seeing this. It should be spinny. I agree with chat on this. Oh, do I need to click a yes, that happened thing? That's spinning. We'll watch it go in, but good. It's doing a beautiful spin. It's going so slowly. Oh, it's also given up. So this one takes longer. There's something in that. When you have a square, the dogs are all aiming at the next one round. If you have a pentagon, they're all aiming at the next one round, which is a bit closer to being tangent to this kind of hypothetical circle. I think it doesn't matter how many dogs I throw on this one. If I space them all out equally around a circle, then they're all going to do kind of the same thing. Okay, I'm going to try stretching the pentagon next, I think. So the kind of easiest transformations I can do are to stretch it and squash it. I could add a little bit of noise instead. Yeah, let's add. So let's ramp up the time on this. It's taking more steps than I thought. fact, maybe I sacrifice some resolution here. So I'll make that a little bit bigger. Is that better? Yeah, see, now they go faster. It's a bit more clumsy, but maybe that'll help us see what's going on. Doop. Nice. There you go. Speed, but also lack of resolution. Like if you zoom on this one, oh, it's going to keep going forever, isn't it? Okay, good. Hey, welcome to our first crash log of the stream. We're going to opt for, well, let's do a poll. Send report. So suggestions in chat that we've got. I think I saved my work before that. So Herb wants a non-convex one quickly. So I think by convex, there's a couple of ways we could do this. So what's the easiest convex shape for me to think about? Is it some sort of kite with like a point at the top, like a kite shape? Or do you want so it's weird because the orientation, once you've got 4 of them, you also get this choice about not just which way around they're going, but what order they're in. So that's a thing. Yeah, people are voting we should send report. Okay, cool. Oh, I can vote as well. Huh. I'm not allowed to do predictions, but I can do votes. Cool. Send report. Ah, right, I need to put an email address in. Awkward. Cool. Let's relaunch and see what we're left with. If you just joined us, the chill math stream where we try and investigate things mathematically, but in a chill manner. I think we're back where we were. You know, that's even at the 5 e to the minus 3. 5 times 10 to the minus 3. I always read that out wrong. Whoop. It's kind of chill, isn't it? Sometimes we try and learn number theory and that's a bit less chill. Right, I was hoping to show you. Sorry, the peer is there's a little light that tells me if it's okay, if I can kill the process or not, because after a while it's just bumbling around because of, again, the lazy way that I've coded this. They're doing massive steps, and after a while they end up like that. I could do something like that. Right, I'm going to stretch the pentagon just to find out what happens. No poll, and then I want to do a non-convex one that Herb says, that Herb requested. I've got a couple of ideas for that. Okay, so let's go down here. It's basically the easiest thing to do is to just like double all the x values or halve them maybe. So that'll squash the pentagon down. Symmetry breaking. Am I going to do predictions on all of these? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to do predictions on all of these. Let's just run some of them and see what happens. So that's quite hard to see. I might need to turn down the speed on that so that we get more resolution. But inside here, I'd say that the squashing has broken the symmetry, and we've got these bits going around like this. But then I don't really know what's going in at this kind of messy bit over here, which makes me think that maybe we should do a little bit. Yeah, so what's happened here is I'm doing this kind of turn-based thing, right? Where each time they calculate where to go and they will go. And that works well when they're quite far apart. Kind of as they're stepping from here to here to here to here, in between each of the steps, they're just moving blindly. And if they get too close together, then all sorts of nonsense happens because they're all really close together. They're all packed really close together, and the rule is point yourself in the right direction. Ooh, spinny chair is great for this. Point yourself in the right direction, and then step forwards 1 meter. And that rule works quite well when they're far apart, like a big park or something. But once they're like less than a meter apart, you've got this huddle of points together. They're all facing the right direction, and then step 1 meter, and they'll blow apart to be about a meter apart, and then instantly spin around because now their target has gone straight past each other. They keep missing, and that's not a fact about the thing we're trying to look at is whether they're tight and neatly spinning around, but this is kind of an artifact of the fact that they are, really, as they go whizzing past each other, they should be updating the direction. This is a thing called step size, where the size of the steps that they take. Ideally, we would have a solution that didn't depend so much on step size. So this is now me justifying this Rorschach test over here. What do you see in these dots? Different colours for the different dogs. That would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's code it. Right, we found it. The thing that I will code. The thing that I will code. Because at the moment I'm being really lazy and I'm just coding all of them. What do we need here? So I want something that's adaptable to the number of dogs, so I'm probably going to give them random colours. Yeah, okay, so I'm storing their coordinates up top. I probably also want to store some colours. So we may live to regret this. So I think we're going to have to plot them one at a time. Currently it's plotting the kind of polygon. My plot command at the moment is 1 line. It's so nice. Plot all of the x coordinates, all of the y coordinates as a scatter plot. Chromosome. Let's try and give them colours up here. So the colours are going to be, oh my goodness, let's just go random for random. N should definitely be the length of X. Okay, let's go colours down here. Random like 10x3 matrix, red, green, and blue. I think I've done them the other way around for 3x n. That sounds about right. I'm going to forget that. I'm doing n by 3. Doesn't really matter. It's data storage. To be honest, it's my code. I'll do what I like. I can't remember how colours work, but let's just give it a go anyway. 4i is j is 1 to n. So we're going to plot each of the dogs instead. So the hold on commands needs to go in here to make sure that we're drawing all of them. And this is going to be something like plot this one, and don't use black dots. I still want to use marker size. I think the instruction is colour. I'm not very good at this. Carl is going to be J colon. Oh, hello, whoever's just followed. Who's this? It's Strider Royalty. No, I'm going to have another go. Who's just followed? Stride Royalty 99. You've had a weird effect on my life. You've pointed out that my sound's not on. Wait, you don't get the... Wait, what? That can't actually be linked to my sound, right? Wait, this is important. I may need you to unfollow and follow again to test the widget. Hello. Okay, this should just do it. It picked random colours. It did it. Welcome back to Chill Maths, where we can write random code. And it's adaptable. It's pretty slow, but it's adaptable to the number of dogs because we want to do triangles and squares and things. Oops, what did I hit? What have I done? Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. RFL! This matches what we wanted. This is the target. Oh, time check on that. When was the thing? Feeling pretty good at my colour-coded dogs. The random cut. That played a noise that time, didn't it? Did that play a noise for you? Played a noise here. That's mad. That can't be right. The only change I made was to switch on. Wait, are you hearing it over my? No. What? I'm so confused. I'm really worried about where that sound, how that notification sound is getting to you. Thanks S5621 for the follow. Welcome to the stream. If you're joining us for the first time, Herb. Yeah, thanks for the sound. Thanks for the sound check. What is going on in there? So I haven't looked at the screen for a moment, and the dogs appear to be doing some sort of. There's a small lime green dot. Lime green? That's where it turns out I'm bad at colours. A small green dot just wiggling backwards and forwards in the middle. Let's have a zoom and see what that looks like. I'm going to kill the process. It's going to make an error noise when I kill the process. Yeah, well, it sort of said it's sort of fighting, right? Because it's plotting lots of points. This is the stupidest code I've. This is probably the stupidest way of drawing this picture, but whatever. So you can see some U-turning stuff, and it hasn't made this bit look much nicer. Oh my goodness. It hasn't made that bit look much nicer, but now you can kind of see the dog's kind of. Oh, look at that, the green and yellow pair. Let's go in there. Oh, I've done a terrible job of zooming in on that action. Yellow dog comes around this way, green dog's already coming through. This curve reminds me of something called a radiochrome. Is that the right word? Radiochrome? Radiochrone with an N? No. Radiodrone? Radiodrome. I'm getting there. Combination of consonants. Right, radiodrone. Which is this. Thank you, Wikipedia. It's like a dog running at a rabbit, where the rabbit is going in a straight line, it doesn't care, and the dog does a curve like this. And that's kind of the situation that we've got here. We've got this yellow dog coming in. It's doing its best to follow the green dog, which it's got close to, but the green dog doesn't care about that. The green dog is, in our world, busy doing something else. It's chasing after, oh gosh, I don't even know, like is it the blue one that it's chasing after? It's either the blue one or the pink one. See, this kind of radiodrome shape, this U-turn thing. It's like this. I think that's what's going on. Is that blue? Oh, is this an eye test? Is this an eye test? Is this blue? How do I find out? Oh, it looks more green than blue. Wait, we've got there. We've found. Wait, I've got a thing for this. This is now the stream. I generate random colours and we argue about whether they're green or blue. Not every colour. We find things to fight about. If that's more blue than green, but for me, colour space has got like blue is. Oh no! I think it's like a minty green. I don't. Oh yeah, we're not voting on this one down here, but I think they're fairly close to green. Right, how's this going? I've got one vote for blue. What was that? Are you the only voter? No, wait, I need to vote. Help. Gru. Bleen. Mary's not getting polls, so, oh well. Okay. Oh yeah, I've set it up so that LaRue can just pay to be correct. Don't like that. Just the Wikipedia article redirects to this live stream right now. LaRue contributed 400 channel points. Thanks for spending your channel points. Okay, fine, it's blue. So I quite like this. There's random colours in here, but not much else to play with in there. So it kind of feels like the U-turns are a bit more ubiquitous. But squashing it removes the nice spiralling it gives this U-turn stuff, which I might try and make precise at some point. Mary would have voted with me for green there. Okay. We've tried some pentagons. Ooh, pentagon squash. Sounds lovely. Let's do some non-convex shapes. I think I'm going to go back over here and try and do... Ooh. Try and do a sort of kite. It's not a kite yet, but it'll get there. Right, kite shape, but it up again. Is there a sensible way to do that? Yeah, do a right angle triangle, but before you go up to the top corner, put an extra point in. That's probably the sensible way to do it. Because I had a right angle triangle before, but I can copy my own homework. Oh no, it's gone. Right, so there'll be 0, 0, and then 1, 0, and then something for the inside bit of the kite, and then 0, 1 up there. I think I want this to be like 0.2, 0.2, like so quite aggressively kite shaped. Right, so this should be corner down here, chasing that one, chasing this pink one, chasing up that way, chasing down to here. And I've put this one at 0.2, 0.2, just feels right. If I put it at 0.5, 0.5, it's right in the middle. Actually, I don't know what happens. So I might play with that number, 0.2. I was going to say that's just the triangle, but it's kind of not, is it? It's a triangle with an extra point. I do want to try that in a second. So let's key that up. I don't know what to call it, but not kite. Right, we'll try that one in a second. This is probably the best bit of doing maths, is the messing around trying to find something out. I just ran it again with different colours. The colours are set to random, I might, and it's luck of the draw at the moment. Okay, non-convex. Those two are heading straight for each other for disaster, right? Oh, and it's gone that way around. And now they're super close together. And now it's doing something a bit more like 3. Just car crash over there. And then some fighting, which I will stop. Okay, I don't know what I expected, but we had the one that was on the interior of the shape, going up there, big U-turn, and I feel like it got quite close to this. We can't really see it in the dot tracks, but I feel like it got quite close to this top left dog, and then they came down as a pair. I'm zooming out again so we can find the collision over here. They come down over here. The purple dog's doing this massive U-turn around. So I feel like if they're heading towards each other at this kind of car crash moment, yeah, it's pretty similar to the right angle triangle case we saw. And it's feeling like triangles other than the equilateral triangle. Feels like maybe they are going to do something like this. I'm going to experiment with different kites, see if we can change that. So 0.3. This looks almost exactly the same. Oh, it's not the same. It's not the same because the top dog, I was watching this moment here, the U-turn's the other way around. That track's going to cross itself now. Nothing to say the tracks can't cross. Oh, that's good. I prefer that a lot. Look at this poor dog starting here. It doesn't know which way to go. It's heading for its pal up there, but then it turns out its pal has seen 2 more dogs over here behind it that it hadn't noticed. So it has to do this big U-turn, loop round them, and oh my goodness, they're all over here somewhere. That's great. Zoom in on that. There we go. Whoop. Oh no! There we go. And the bottom left one again has done its big U-turn. Really sharp U-turn this time. I think these are quite big steps. Massive steps. And it goes. It looks like it's overshot. I'm not sure it's supposed to be able to do that. First non-cyclic polygon. Yeah, they're kind of... Huh. I think it's the first time we've seen tracks crossing each other like that. Non-cyclic polygon has made me think of now might be the time to do a different one. It's made me think about a square with the corners flipped. So I've tried this before. I can't quite remember what happens, but if you set it up wrong, if you set up a square wrong, so that you have the corners of the square, but instead of each dog chasing the next one around, clockwise or anti-clockwise, if you have each dog, oh my goodness, this is impossible to do. Why am I trying to do this in the air with my... If you have the dogs chasing each other in a random kind of weird order, then you can get probably something different. Let's try this not kite first. Which is starting as if it was a right angle triangle. And I suppose that's kind of influencing the way that the information about this top left one gets the bottom right one. So we tried a right angle triangle where this one was just merely chasing up to here, whereas now it's going to be mediated through this. You get a kind of similar picture for this right angle triangle one, but kind of different. Like I feel like this this curve is different as well. Similar punchline, I suppose. They end up in the middle with some sort of U-turns around. I'm going to learn that word. That's my aim for today. Radiodrome. There you go. The bar is low. I'm going to learn that word on screen now. Radiodrome. Possibly I will learn to look. Is the challenge about Twitch streaming. I need to learn to look there rather than there. You see me always looking over there instead of there. That's because just like in a Zoom call, there's a little picture-in-picture of me. And my instinct is always, instead of looking at you, to look at me. Just like being on a Zoom call. Well. Twitch streaming, eh? Oh, we can't zoom in, they're still fighting. While they're fighting, they keep redrawing the picture, which resets the axis. Very, very bad code. If I was a more patient person, I would spend more time. I don't know why am I always zooming in on this bit? Because we've got one of the best U-turns yet. Look at that. Wow. And then, oh my goodness, what is going on here? I don't want to know. What a mess. What is this? What are you doing? Great stuff. Always nice watching the stuff break down. It's quite nice, right? This is clearly doing something, right? I don't know if that was clearly doing something right or clearly doing something, yeah, right? Okay, let's get a square. Twisted square. What do I want to do? I want to take the ones at the top with y coordinate 1 and switch their x coordinates. That's the last two. They're the ones up top. And switch their x coordinates like that. So the dogs are going to chase each other in the wrong order. There we go. So the bottom right one's chasing the top left one instead of the top right one. And the top right one's chasing the bottom left one instead of the top left one. And they're going to almost meet each other there. And then beautifully head in. Bam! Then a bit of fighting. That's quite nice. It's got some symmetry to it. Maybe that's what makes these nice, right? When there's maybe some symmetry but something mildly unpredictable. Part of the reason they're fighting, by the way, is that these tends to... This will sound stupid, but these tend to end in finite time. The situation with 4 dogs on a square normally is quite well understood, and if you solve some differential equations or something, which is the thing that I should be doing really, is to solve the differential equations. Solving the differential equations means you get around all of these issues about small step size. It's like doing the continuous limit. It's lovely. If you solve the differential equations, then you find that all the dogs spiral around beautifully into the middle. James. All the dogs spiral around beautifully into the middle, and they reach the middle in a finite amount of time. So the computer doesn't know that. I'm making it do something quite mean. I'm making it show me what happens after that. And there isn't really any after that. The dogs meet each other. Now you're dividing by 0. There isn't a direction from one dog to the next if they're all in the same place. So this is quite mean to my computer. It means that after a finite amount of time, there's just no solution anymore. I saw this come up on the Discord. You can write down a differential equation for the shape of a circle. Like you can convert, if you have x and if you know the equation of a circle, you can work out the tangent, and then you can interpret that as a differential equation, where it's a hard differential equation, but you know that the answer is a semicircle or a circle. And then if you give that to a computer to solve, then poor old computer is going to solve, and the curve will come down like a circle until it hits 0. And then there isn't any more solution because there isn't any more circle. But you can't sometimes force your computer to keep doing stuff. I'm able to just, I don't know, what do you want? There's no solution over there. This is not something you really do in A level or equivalent. The idea that the solution to your differential equation might not exist for all x input variable. It might exist only on some bounded region of input variable. If you think of your input variable as time, then that's called a finite time singularity, because it takes a finite amount of time to get to, and it's pretty bad news. So we've got all going on here, haven't we? We've got the crisscross. Oh, the crisscross actually looks quite nice on these. The way it's been plotted. Oh, not anymore, not if you zoom. I was going to say, the dots being plotted with some sort of order gives this kind of effect where they intersect nicely. Okay, some crisscrossing. So what I really want to try and understand is what's going on with, maybe not hexagons, but like 20 of them. And my way of exploring this is to just go for like random points. MATLAB's quite good at this. You can just ask for 20 random numbers and it will do 20 random numbers. So this should just throw down 20 random dots. I wonder if my computer can cope with this. Maybe I should do 10 first. Oh, number theory is ongoing. I felt we did 2 or 3 weeks in a row, and it was maybe getting a bit tiring for people watching. Well, last week I think we did some law of quadratic reciprocity stuff, and it was just really dense. It didn't feel very chill. I'm probably going to go back to it, but I like to switch things up. Who knows? Maybe we'll go back to maybe we'll go back to the natural number game one day. Random. Oh, we're onto something here. The number theory that we were looking at last week is still very close to my heart, and something that I should get better at. This is what I want. Yeah. The reads made me put colours in, which was a really good idea. It's slightly slower to plot because my code's very stupid, but look at this. Look at them go. Yes. So this is, to be clear, this is 10 random points. Random points. And they're following each other. This is hard to explain, but they're following each other kind of in a random order. Like the next dog that they're chasing, each one's chasing, could just be anywhere. So it's not like 10 points and then think very carefully about a sensible order for them to be chasing each other. The code's stupid. The code's just 10 kind of anywhere. Which one are you following? That one. Off we go. So it's kind of, we were talking non-convex shapes. This one is kind of, if you join up the edges in the order, like a join the dots puzzle, then initially the join the dots puzzle is just everywhere. But it looks like it's sorted itself out. Did you see that on the way in? Did it look like it sorted itself out? Trying to kill it so we can have a look. So on the way in, yeah, this stuff. where there's two sorts of purple here, arguably a third. Oh, look, what's that? Fourth sort of purple. Okay, the code loves purple. And those points started really far apart, but they've ended up, I would say, sorting themselves out so that they're in this kind of spiral behavior. And it even looks like the spiral is maybe becoming more and more circular. Now, there's a problem that, that's really good. There's a problem that we got that small step size thing again. Let's make that a bit larger. Oh, it's a shame I can't. Galaxy formation thing going on. So these are all coming from different points in space and running in, and they've sorted themselves out into the right order, and they're forming this kind of more circular shape on the way in. That's what I wanted to see, and I think this always happens. And we've seen it happen once. Let's do it again. Should I be brave and go up to 20? I'll be brave. Oh, okay. So we've got 20 traces. It's quite hard to tell which one's following which one. Already some of them have got quite close together. So there's a pair. I pointed at my screen there. As soon as a pair gets close together, you'll tend to see them do some sort of U-turn. One of them will spin around. They'll be running towards each other maybe. Or even just one of them going, and the other one will just get close. And you'll get a U-turn sort of situation like that one at the top. But somehow, I guess because each one's following, I don't have the words for this, but each one's following is trying to get behind the next one so that, has it stopped? Don't stop. It's going really slowly. Very unhappy about how many points I'm asking it to draw. Doesn't like drawing this many points. I think that dark blue one might be doing some sort of U-turn on the spot as the thing it's aiming at. Is it? Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong end. So on the left, it now looks like they're sort of sorting themselves out a bit. I think it's just chugging through very slowly. The calculation's not the slow bit. The plotting the picture is the slow bit, because I'm doing that in a really stupid way. If we want to do this a bit more, then I might make some changes to make this less stupid. In particular, what can it do? Yeah, okay, so they're now all getting quite close together and drawing over the top of existing lines. But I think there's a pack on the right that are quite close together, and a pack on the left that are all coming in. And it's quite a shallow kind of... Let's try and do it your way around. That's much harder than I thought it would be. Quite a shallow kind of ellipse that might sort itself out into a kind of circular arrangement. We're going to let it keep running. Interesting choice of colours here. So I'm doing the random colours in a kind of stupid way. The red, green and blue components are just uniform random numbers from 0 to 1. The amount of red, green and blue. And it turns out lots of the colour space there is kind of browns and greens. Foliage. It's not great, is it? There's some interesting contrasts. That light blue I like quite a lot. The pink. Oh, hang on, those are the stream colours. Okay, so whatever it's done, it's not the case that we've got two packs of dogs that have just headed towards each other. Bam. Feels like they're doing spiralling again. I'm going to let them settle down a bit and then we're going to zoom in to see what they've drawn. But like there's a tan coloured line in there which goes down and then up and then round and is now maybe doing lots of spiralling. This is interesting to me because my intuition is something like... Square does a nice spiral because it's nice and symmetric. Rectangle doesn't because you've lost the symmetry. 10 dogs in a nice, beautiful decagon sort of shape. Brilliant, nice symmetry, does spinning. 10 dogs in a random shape, you've lost the symmetry, but it does spinning anyway. So what's the general behaviour? Does it... I felt like a square was a special case because it's nice and tidy. Rectangle shows the true behaviour, but maybe that's not right. Maybe start spinning again. Oh yeah. Whoops. Language. Does seem inaudibly fond of kind of greenish brown colours. I think there's an XKCD about this. I think XKCD did a colour survey where they showed people random colours and asked them to name the colours, and some of the responses from participants were just like, please stop showing me different shades of green. Maybe there's a human biology thing there. I don't know. What would that be? No, because I'm sampling, it's all to do with the way I'm sampling colour space. Maybe something to do with LEDs. What's my screen made of? Maybe this genuinely looks different on other people's screens. I suppose why wouldn't it? Okay, they've done some spiralling. Let's have a look. That's my stupid workaround where I try and now just stop it. There we go. Good. Ooh. That's not really centered on your screen, is it? Let's try and do that a bit better. Art. I would like to zoom, please. This is a little bit. It's a little bit. Do I think that I could not sell this as art? I don't know. We could make it nicer, right? Let's make it nicer. If I switch out the backgrounds to be, if I make the background, turn off the axes, background to, sorry for slapping my hands together like that. Background to maybe some dark colour. So that it's generative. It's kind of generative. Oh, I don't like zooming on this. So this, I love the way they've sorted themselves out so they're now all chasing the right one, correct ones. What would be good? So what would be good would be if they were rainbow coloured and sort themselves out was visibly like they sorted themselves out into a rainbow. Change the range for each colour component. Yeah, I'm thinking about changing the sampling to be... I don't really know anything about this, but I think I want to sample colour space in a kind of rainbow circle, maybe with some trigonometry or something. I've got this kind of mental image that I want to go like red, green, blue in a colour wheel kind of way. Yeah, alternatively, just set it up with the branding. Okay, because this is quite ugly at the moment. Okay, right, operation make it look nicer. Let's get that, turn that off. Let's go set. Oh, I can't remember how to set the background colour. I always forget how to do this. Is it like this? No, it's not like this. The fact that this is a saved, like a regular Google search for me of how do I make the plot background? I try to do this all the time and I can never learn it. So Google search. You have to put colour in the middle. I was so close and yet so far away. Right, okay, I think that's going to look better. Roots of Unity on the colour wheel. Yeah, Roots of Unity on the colour thing. Ah, can you make a 3D mesh grid for discrete points in X, Y, Z? Do you mean for this, or just in general? Hello, Ankit7, by the way. First time chat. is that we could do this in 3D. We could do this in 3D. Oh, in general. I don't really know what a 3D mesh grid is. It sounds like the answer is either yeah, sure, or yeah, I don't really know what a 3D mesh grid is, sorry. I use mesh grid sometimes for surfaces, but what's your context? Are you trying to do some code stuff, or are you trying to understand a surface or something? Right, let's go, so let's label this. Whoa, almost went American. You don't get me that easily, US. So, what do I want? Oh, this is so stupid. I think I want the red bit. Oh, I'll tidy this up in a moment, but ooh, hello, didn't like that. No, stop auto-completing. I'm thinking about red, green, and blue, not Bluetooth. And I think I want this to be something like, what do I want? I want something between 1 and 0. 1 and 0, and I want it to peak now and then come back after n. 3 sets containing discrete points with the same dimension to make a grid of those 3D points. Yeah, does mesh grid do that? In MATLAB at least. Hey, thanks for the follow. MATLAB has mesh grid XYZ, which I think does the thing you want. I'll put it in chat so you can find. Now, next question, are you suggesting that that's what I do for my colours? Because I think I'm just going to roll with some random terrible code, unless anybody in chat jumps in. I love a cosine, and I want it to go from like, I want it to have like n points in it. So this is the same sort of thing, right? 2 pi. Oh, I'm not using roots of unity in here. Maybe I should be. That looks sensible for the length, right? Something like that. Oh, but I need to divide by 2 and add 1 or something, and that'll do some like. That'll do something. And then I'll just shift it, right? Good. And then, so that's my red component, my green component, and my blue component. So I don't really want this. I want... this. I should probably make these into columns or something, or flip. Oh, this is where you pay the price for not really thinking about which way around your data is. Because now I'm trying to make sure it's n rows by making sure, I think these things default to being horizontal, so something like this. Man. That looks sensible enough. I'm surprised that was helpful. Sorry, but if that was genuinely helpful, then wow. That would be the second time this stream has ever helped anybody. Right, let's just have a quick look as to see if has that done anything. No, it's very cross with me. Yes, it's very unhappy indeed. Didn't like me whatsoever. Why? 20 by 3. What was it before? If I 20 by 3. So I've got the right dimensions. That's not the thing that I messed up right now. And they are. This is something I love about MATLAB, that you can just interrogate your data midway through. I helped 3 people. What was the third occasion? Last week we helped someone do their homework. This week I'm aware of the fact. No, I'm aware of the function mesh grid. These look lovely. I don't know why it's complaining. What's wrong? What's wrong with you? You should love this. Oh, do you want to flip it? Oh, just try random stuff. That's how you fix code, isn't it? Specify a 3-element vector of values between 0 and 1. J. And it's crashing straight away when J is 1. It's like being permanently in a sort of debug mode that you can just, when it crashes, it just and see what's going on. It's because I don't know how to write functions. I should wrap all this in a function or something, right? I should be doing clever, intelligent code things. That would make my code easier to debug. Oh, these are too big. Why are these so large? All of them are too large. Why are they so large? I'm dividing my cosine by 2 and then adding 1. I'm an idiot. I should be adding 1 half. Now it's happy. There you go. That's better. Those colours are not too bad. Someone asked about the birthday paradox. Huh. Maybe I am helpful. No, let's not overthink it. I think this is going to look great. So much so that I'm turning the frame rate down. Oh, do I want to turn? Let's go. Okay, art critics in chat. Better colours or worse? It's a bit better, isn't it? Ankit, I can't help you with Simulink. I don't know Simulink at all. The only thing I know about it is that it's bundled with MATLAB. If the help is anything like MATLAB help, then you should be okay. The stuff on the MATLAB website I always find quite helpful. Let me try and find out what Simulink actually is. Products. Oh, it's a different product family. Oh my goodness, is it? Oh, is this what you're trying to learn? Just quickly. Okay, wind turbine design? Cool. Ooh, I've broken everything. We're all watching some stuff happen. Right, that should be sorting itself out into rainbow order. Mary says it's better. The saturation is random. I don't know anything about saturation. You can probably do something clever to balance out the saturation. That yellow looks really muddy. There's a yellow thing on the left. There we go. Oh, I know what we've made. I know what we've made. Where have I seen a spinning rainbow ball of waiting for something to slowly happen? We've made that loading thing on Apple devices, but with maths. Bro, I think that has sorted itself out into rainbow order, so that's pretty good. I guess that you can simulate fluid flow in Simulink. Maybe I should learn Simulink. Simulink is a block diagram environment used to design systems with multi-domain models, simulate before moving to hardware, and deploy without writing code. Ooh. You've got my interest with the without writing code, because look what happens when I write code. It now feels like a loading thing. That's better, it sorted itself out. Maybe if I was clever, I'd write code that I don't have to kill like that. This is nice, isn't it? MATLAB knows to change the UI because I've changed the background color. Ooh, this is a bit better. I do like the way there's still some random. You can tell on the approach that some of them have come from different places. They've lived different lives, and you've got some of these stretches of different stuff going on. And then you've got the vortex. Spotty vortex. Which, Has this sorted itself out? What is going on with all these colours? Why are these so colourful? This is interesting. So I thought these trails would be one dog each, but that's not what's going on. We're looking at this one moving to there, and it's kind of a coincidence. How long has that been true for? That this trail is rainbow coloured. Oh, it's a kind of syncing frame rate kind of thing. It's kind of lined up with the frame rate of the ticks. That out here, that's mad. And look, you can see how each one's a different colour if you look around. But they've synced up the frame rate so that this one's going to move and hit just like within the trail of that one. What's going on there? That'll go away. They'll get closer to each other. If I'd let it keep running, they'll get closer to each other, and then they won't be. They won't be. They happen to be. They happen to be jumping the same amount as like the perimeter divided by 20. I don't know how to make screensavers. We can do maybe we can export images. What did you do today? I made this. What did you learn at school? I didn't go. It's Sunday. Eye of the storm. So with 20 points, that would take 20 points on a circle would take really quite a long time to collapse in, because each dog is kind of running almost tangential to the circle. Okay, I think we've made this look better, so that's good. Let's save the work. What is that? 3:15. Good. Okay. I want to go back and do some of these now. Quick review. So this should all now just work. If we go back and do things again, might not be happy with us. Almost pi o'clock. Do we need a new stream tradition of what do we do at pi o'clock? Everybody, I don't know. The always thing is eat a pie, but it feels like not the kind of stream behaviour that we're into around here. Okay, so square, fine. You have to bake a pie, right? Even worse. If you think my coding is suspect, then you didn't want to see my baking. Oh, there we go. So stuff like this. Well, now that they're color coded, we can go back and kind of review the U-turn. Sorry that it makes that noise every time. I don't understand why noises are being sent to you. So sometimes when somebody follows, you get a notification, and sometimes you don't. I'm terrified that you might be hearing them from my speakers back into my microphone, back into the broadcast. That would be really poor quality. It is the default Windows beep noise. MATLAB plays the default Windows beep noise quite a lot. Or is it default Windows warning noise? For example, if you're in here, I'll do it once. If you press up, you can go back to previous commands, so that's quite nice. And if you press down, you can go back through previous commands until you run out. And then if you press down one more time, it plays the noise. This is sort of useful, but also quite annoying. Because sometimes you end up in this box not meaning to be in the box, but you want to be in here, just going down through your code, but then you click in here and you press down and it does it again. Pi Day special. Wait, is Pi Day a Sunday? What day of the week is Pi Day? Pi Day is a Thursday. What are we doing for Maths Club? What am I doing for Maths Club? Thursday. There is going to be a stream on that day. Right, well, Pi Day. Start planning now. A bake pie. It's very simple. Herb wants me to bake pie. That's the beginning and the end. I'm quite liking this mathematically issued colour palette we've got. It's a little bit muted. Ooh. A bit of muted colour palette. I should probably think about how to do that. I want the colours further away from 0, closer to 1, but they're already maxing out at 1. Briefly. Oh, while they're maxing out, the other two are not. I don't know what Celeste is. What's Celeste? I don't get that reference. It's a video game that I haven't played. Maybe I should play this game. What is this game? It's a platformer. I'm learning about games. Welcome to Twitch, where millennials learn about video games. What am I saying? Millennials love video games. It's my current hyperfixation. Is that I think this looks better with the colours. I don't know why it's going so slowly now. Oh, we changed the way it plots. What's important to me? Do I want to think about changing that to be better? So I could do a version where it just does calculations and then reports back and plots at the end. But that's less fun because then you don't get the animation. It just thinks for ages and then spits out the spiral. How long is it going to think for? How fast can my computer do something pretty stupid while also running a stream? I did worry about this just before going live. Like, my code's really stupid. The stream is really unoptimized. Can I do both at once? Turns out yes. You can do it, computer. The computer I use at work is not as good as this one. So it's almost weird that the professional Thursday stream and the unprofessional Sunday stream kind of have the tech the wrong way around. But now I'm bored. This way around where it draws at the end. Ah, okay, fine. It did the thing. It's not better. It just, it's still doing this nonsense down here, where it's just setting up the outer period thing. Maybe I could. Good. Right. Okay. Anybody else want to recommend any video games or art or colour theory? We're putting this command back inside here. It's slow, but it's fun. To be honest, I think that messing around with the colours is the most fun. I'm kind of thinking about cubing these to take the variation and just make it more spiky. Oh no, that would be bad. What do I want to do? Currently got them looping like that. I kind of want a different periodic function that's closer to. Oh right, I could just make it less wobbly and add more. Technical terms. So that'll never go below 1/2. If I do that, maybe everything's a bit brighter, or just paler. Yeah, just paler. Oh, it's kind of pastel. Yeah, this was a bit stupid. This was like taking the average of the previous picture and blank whiteness. It's a bit unpleasant, isn't it? It reminds me a lot of. This reference is not going to work. There was a TV program when I was very young. It was about learning to write letters, and it stuck in my mind because The screen was black and letters got written on the screen. Like, this is how you draw an A, appearing in a nice pastel colour on a black background. That's what that's activated. Yeah, watch my magic pencil reference totally miss. Being 30 is quite young, but also, if you're twice as old as everyone you're talking to, I have found I have found the magic pencil. I think I'm going to link people to Magic Pencil, but first I'm going to check that it really is as lovely as I remember it being. It's less pastel coloured than I remember. Oh yeah, here we go. I link people to the Magic Pencil. Okay, I'm not twice as old as Mary, right? Okay, maths is happening. Yeah, oh sorry, you can hear my computer, I keep forgetting. Including YouTube adverts. Magic Pencil. Why can you hear it? There's nothing... Might do some tests. Okay. So you can hear this. But if I... Oh! What about now? I think you can no longer hear it. Maybe? You can't hear... What is going on? Okay, so it is just the microphone feedback. Because all I've changed is I've switched off the power on. This is very bad tech setup. Also a bad way to test things. I think it's just a feedback loop, which is probably dangerous, but hey. It just shouldn't. Right, cool. Right, let's put something distracting on TV and let's put something distracting on and worry about stream settings for a second. There we go. Ooh, 20 pastel colours. Maybe I like this a bit more than the bright ones. Oh, I should learn what saturation is, shouldn't I? How can I stop it picking up? Or is it just inevitable because my microphone is picking up? Oh, whatever. So something I think I'd like to try once this one's finished sorting itself out is there's a threshold between the kind of U-turn stuff and spiraling. We tried some pentagons, so maybe I want to go back to just 4 or 5 or 6 and see if there's a threshold where it switches from one to the other. I think that would be good enough. What's it doing? It's got a nice bit in the middle there, those oranges and pinks and blues. Is it going to go? Yeah, so it's sorting itself out and doing a sort of spiral. But something like if there's only 3 or 4 points, then they don't spiral. What's the range thing? Which range thing, Herb? First time I read that, I thought you were fixing my microphone for me, but no, I think maybe... Oh, the colour, maybe? Happy to edit it. Okay, let's sort of this out from a nice little pastel. Oh, the colour range, so that it... Right, we can do different things on the reds and greens and blues. Yeah, okay. Let's stop this. I've decided to, yeah, okay. So let's divide these by 2 instead. And using our trusty friend, the cosine, for the range of stuff. This is nice because it goes all the way up to very red. Let's mute the greens. So maybe the green hangs out at just a little bit of variation around 1/2. It's currently 1/2 plus or minus, ignoring the argument here, plus or minus 1/2. So maybe we make that like 1/4 or something. There's no longer any randomness in the green, but it is, I guess the cosine is a bit random. But yeah, if we reduce that range to be, I think I still want the plus 1/2, so it's not too dark. But just like, let's have a look. Let's just do 1 and see what those colours look like. Oh, complete disaster. There's so many oranges and blues in there. This is just too much green. Maybe I want less green. Oh, I hated that. Why does it hate me? Why is it not like that? Oh, this is the most mysterious thing ever. Come on, code, be nice to me. What? Oh, it wants whole numbers. No? What? What? Oh, this is going to go to negative numbers. It's a negative number thing. Okay, maybe I don't understand colour theory at all. I was hoping for pinks and blues, and I've got some muddy browns and things like that. Maybe I've just no variation, just nothing. Reds and purples. Still very blue. Could we pick that up a bit? Okay, so if my colours go out of range, it does that. Okay, so if we pick that up a bit as well, then they go really pale colours. Okay, we're homing in on some pinks and blues, which was the plan. I think I want. Why is that? There's not very much red in that picture at the moment. So maybe I want less variation in the red, but more kind of value. No, this is a disaster. Fix the green so it's constantly lighter. Okay, I've currently got this 0 times in as a kind of constant thing on the green. It's just getting further away. I'll take that. That's got some purple in it. That's not too bad. Yeah, how do you make colours, right? Modulo some random trigonometry stuff going on, but I've got a bunch of pinks and purples. I don't hate it. I don't hate it, I just think we can do slightly better. It's hard to do this without getting a bit of orange in there as well. You want it to, possibly what I want to do is define my 2 or 3 favourite colours and then do some interpolation in colour space. Where did the blues go? Yeah. It's got a lot of blue in there though. It's got a lot of blue in. But also constantly a bit of green and quite a lot of red. So it's just hanging out. I think we're probably also going to run into problems about what colours actually look like. That's probably too much. It's really getting it. Maybe blue is just tiny in colour space, but things quite near blue look like purple. I don't really know what we're doing. Should we export this as a kind of separate game? Yeah, let's export this as a separate game. So the challenge here is that you get three waves. Well, at the moment this is just, let's delete this because it's silly. You get 3 waves called red, green and blue. I said game, which is probably a mistake. And then what we're going to do, I think I want to do and then look at the lin space from 0 to 1. I'm going to do something a bit daft. I want a row of points or rectangles or patches of colour or something, so that we can have a look at what these colours look like. This is a bit daft. Let's go X in here, just X please. X in here, but it's got a shift on it and it's divided by different numbers. And I'm going to go plot X red, plot X green, plot X blue. Let's stack some things together here. Time check, 3:30. So I sort of want some subplots going on for these. Have I done that the wrong way around? I've probably done that the wrong way around. Yep, I've done that the wrong way around. 3-1. I find these things really hard to remember. I mean, it's sort of all how MATLAB handles matrices. Good, okay. Okay, so we've got plots of our red, green and blue channels for these cosine waves. I think I want to make sure that the axes are always 0 to 1. And here's a trick, if you put 0 times x in here, then it makes it a vector, so it plots all of the values. Right, and let's colour code them as well. So we've got these nice plots of these, so it's just a sort of visualizer of these 3 cosine waves that we're playing with. I said I was going to make the axes. Is that how you do that? That is not how you do that. I've actually put square brackets in. I can never remember. Yeah, something like that, isn't it? That's a kind of global thing. Let's save this. Color Explorer. Okay. Woof. Okay, cute. So I've got my red, green, and blue channels. Can I have these line width a bit thicker, please? What's it called? It's not called line width. Line thickness? It's not called line thickness. What's it called in MATLAB? This is so embarrassing. It is called line width. What am I doing wrong? Oh, it doesn't go up there. It goes in there. Okay, red, green, blue. And then I want to see, this is going to be a bit difficult, but I want to see the combination. So, what are we going to do? I want to see the result, right? What happens when you combine these red, green and blue together? And my intuition here is that I want to plot a lot of points or draw a lot of rectangles. Maybe underneath. This is going to be a bit of a mess. Underneath, to do something like, for each of these colours, please plot, oh, it's very unhappy with me, please plot just a point at, I guess I want the x coordinate to be that, the y coordinate to be that, and just this one. And I want the colour to be something like, oh, this is going to be a bit of a mess. Didn't really think this through. Why did I give them such rubbish names? Yeah, it's something like that, isn't it? Hold on, let's know that more stuff is coming. Okay, so that hasn't worked at all. Because I haven't told it to plot anything at all like this. You've got to tell it you want to do dots. There's some dots. Okay, this is not mad. This is not mad. I've done mad stuff before. This is not the mad stuff. I actually want rectangles, I think, so that we can have a look at the gradient. So I don't want to plot points down the middle. Oh, look at that gradient. That looks lovely. It's all pinks and purples. Why was it not good before? Transferable, right? And then probably I want some UI parameters, which I can't remember how to do UI parameters at all, but some things like tweak the cosines to change the gradient maker thing. Okay, let's make this look pretty down here first. So what do I want to do? I want to do my axis off. But just in that subplot. Good. Yes. Nice. Again, I don't want to do a plot. I want to do a fill, and then the x values are going to be 4 things. The y values are going to be 4 things. So if you specify a rectangle, then it will fill it in for you. I'm going to just take one off because I've got a feeling that I want to go up to xi plus 1. And then around the top, and back to the left again. And this should go in y, it should go 0, 0, 1, 1 along the top. And don't do dots. But that is the colour. I can't remember if it's colour or fill colour. Yeah. It's called fill colour, I think. Face colour? What do you call them? Oh, just XYC. It just goes for it. No word needed. It's quite hard to learn that up. Hello again, Fourier analyst. Missed you. How do you do edge colour? Yeah. Just the word none, maybe? Hey, we've got a little gradient going. We got a little gradient. We got our red channel, we got our green channel, we got our blue channel. And what can we do? So really I want sliders. I want little sliders that let me play with these to get this gradient to look different. So that I can just say, oh, let's tweak the parameters. And I can't remember how to do UI sliders at all. So this is a learning experience for everyone involved. That pink is pretty similar to the stream brand of pink. Okay, let's just try it out with different numbers, right? We've got maybe 6 control parameters here. It's got so much blue in it already. That's the observation. It's got so much blue. Maybe we just make the blue even louder. I think that's a crash colour rather than an actual colour. Yep. Okay, when it crashes it goes blue. Oof. Okay, so even maxed out blue, it's still doing this pinky purple kind of thing. Why is that? Why is it never blue? It's because the red is not coming down. The red is keeping it purple. Blue and red make purple, maybe? So we need to make the red variation more extreme. To make that duck out a little bit more. What was this adding? Like this. And now the red's ducking quite a lot and we get lots of blue in the middle. It's kind of dark blue, isn't it? So maybe we tweak that a little bit as well to keep the max red high, but bring the minimum up a bit as well. So maybe we divide this by 3 and add 2/3. That's now gone back to being a kind of murky purple, which is not what I wanted. I think I want some green. Where does it sound? It's not super dark. It was not that bad, was it? Maybe this is the right colour scheme for us. I feel like the pink purple transition is nice, but then it's super it's really flat blue, to my eyes anyway. So it's really flat through the middle bit. Green needs to be low when red is high, and vice versa. It should keep the browns out. Okay, let's flip that cosine. Woo! Well, that was a fun suggestion. That's got a nice kind of cyan turquoise colour. I'm not qualified to comment on shades of blue. Don't love this vertical line stripe stuff that we've got going on, but that's all right. I'll just up the number of samples. There we go. That's quite nice. It's kind of stream colours, isn't it? It's not quite that. Oh, but I can tune that. If I look up what colour that is, I can tune the RGB. Yeah, this is how we get stream colours. We have control over the values on the left, the values in the middle, and it's a linear interpolation. Oh, but we're missing a trick because we could go through 3 points. If we just do something like this, where it just goes down and then back again, we're currently looking at something symmetric, right? Which is a kind of missed opportunity to do. If you just shift the greens a little bit. Oh, that's now weird. That's now so weird. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done anything. Yeah, so lovely. It just goes back again. Yeah, you want me to bring down the... Oh, you liked that? Quick review, just for chat. It's so blue, and then really weirdly pale. We do quite like the pale. Do like pink. Welcome to Colour Theory. It's the Chill Maths live stream you didn't know you needed. Less aggressive shift. Hey, that's more like it. You get a bit of the dark blue, a bit of the light blue. Kind of interesting transitions back to pink. The pink is very pink, but it's kind of us, isn't it? I think we found it. We might be there. I might tweak the it's super saturated over here because this is like default pink almost. One blue, one red, like around the left. Blue is not quite right. Yeah, so how do we want to play this? I can look up my stream colours. I've kind of forgotten them. Let me just go to studio mode, grab my colours. Hang on a moment. Just to show you what this panel looks like. I have a colour palette set up. It looks like this. So I'm just going to quickly screenshot that and do some sampling. Yeah, we're opening MS Paint. We're opening MS Paint because it has a colour picker. And I just want that first pink colour to be bang on. Okay, it's... Oh, I don't know what to do with this information. Official stream colour. That shade of pink around the edge. Not quite that shade of pink, which is a Twitch default. We're getting into the weeds. 255-102-179. I can't remember how I chose that. So how do I fit that into my model? Goodness me. So when this is 1, I want this to be... what other number do I want? Because you can do a lot of things here. I don't want to mess this up too much. I kind of want it to come back down to 0, for now anyway. So to make sure this comes back down to 0 and it's just scaled, I'm going to multiply it by... Actually, no, wait, that's kind of correct. It should go really high. It's the green that should go... The green should start out at something more like 102. Let's just check. The first green shade here is 0.25, and it should be something more like... It should be something more like 0.4. How am I going to achieve that? I could shift a little bit more. Might mess things up. Got to solve some equations, really, haven't we? Got to solve some equations. I feel like the gradient over here is pretty good. I could just get away with a little bit more shift. Like instead of pi by 3, just pi by 2. And then I've got just a kind of lighter shade of pink here. A little bit more extreme with the purples. I don't think I've ruined anything. I think that may have crashed. Yep. That was not too bad, was it? We're at 2. Time check, 3:45. It's not even crashing on particularly hard things. It's just it's giving up too easily. Come back. It's more fight. That's now up to 0.5, so I shifted too much. Are we going to do the maths? Am I going to do the maths? I want this to be 0.4. I want, when I plug in 0, I want this to be, when I plug in 0, I want this to be minus 0.1. So I want this to be because of 0.1. Oh, is it not like, oh, is it called ACOS in here? I can never remember. There we go, now it's shifted. So that green starts at 0.45, I've messed up. Oh, it's divided by 2. There we go. So that should now start at 0.4, good. So that left colour, oh no, I need to do the blues as well, but because blue is supposed to be 179. Okay, let's see what happens if I just take away some blue and do 179 divided by, oh no, it's terrible, we've got a load of green in there now, I don't like that at all. Okay, so challenge, I want the blue nice and high. Don't ignore this, this is not it. I want the blue nice and high, almost everywhere, except just down here. So maybe if I add on, how am I going to do that? Blue nice and high, almost everywhere except there. Let's square this. Squaring it is a cheap way of making sure it's between 0 and 1, and I want to add on 2177 or something over 256. Ooh. Squaring it was a stupid idea because it's made it positive go up and down too many times. That pink colour on the left is now too large. You can't even get that right. Okay, we've got the pink colour right. Or no, we don't, because it's now a minimum. We've got the pink colour right, and we've got a weird rainbow sort of thing going on around the right hand side that I'd like to get rid of. So I regret this cos stuff. I regret squaring that. And I would like to add on another. Oh, it's just turning into the botch job that it always is. 38 here or something? No, I've ruined everything. It has fixed the blue. We've got this weird kind of rainbow bit going on over here with the fiersome green, where green happens to be high again. I don't know. It's a bit more rainbow. Rainbow with a lot of pink. It's kind of right half is kind of a kind of pan flag, left half kind of bi flag. They're kind of like neatly wedged together. Might leave it like that. It's not terrible. We've got some weird cosines in here. I feel like there's a game to be played here. If I knew how to do UI elements, so you would drag these things around and reshape them like, I don't know, like there's people doing sound design where they drag all the control points around. Because what I really want is just to give it 2 or 3 points and get it to interpolate. Yeah, we do have green going quite high, don't we? Yeah, we've got green going really quite high. Do we want it to be at 0? Yeah, I kind of like this bit. We want it to start at 0.4 for stream branding reasons. This blue is in there somewhere, probably. I guess probably not in a statistical sense, but we could add less. Oh, it's so annoying that cosine goes between -1 and 1. Most of my fixing is trying to stop it from doing stupid stuff. So we could turn down the amount of variation, add a little bit, and then it's a bit more muted. Oh, might be getting there. We've got some pink at the start. No longer sure that I'm doing the right numbers. No, I'm not. Can we bother to work out what that is? No, I cannot be bothered to work out what this should be. redoing all of the stupid bodge things that are joined together, redoing all of them one by one each time I change anything is really daft. I've got a whole computer in front of me and I'm doing all this manual, like, tweaking all the numbers stupidly. But keep going, because that's kind of the fun bit. What should this be? This should be something like oh my goodness. It's too many minus signs. It's just stupid. It's not clever, it's just stupid. No. Guessing wrong. Okay, there's something in this. Maybe not quite this one. I liked the one a couple ago, I think. Even if I nail that green down. Oh, this bit's still a bit too. How much can I bother to think about easing right now? Not a lot. So the correct thing to do is probably set up the control points and interpolate between them. Wait, does MATLAB do this? Yeah, MATLAB does this, right? If you give it something like if you give it something like at 0.4, at 0.4, at 0.5, 0, at 1, I want to be 1, or 0.4 again. If you give it 3 points like that, then there's something you can do, which is like, right, okay, so we've got these control, I sort of remember how this works, but not entirely. If these kind of control values on the X, and you have your green points, which have to store the values that you want, and then you do this interpolation thing, which, oh my goodness, I only sort of remember how this works. Just on like the values, the XQ where you control X where you know things. No. Which one here? X the points? It's something like this. Yeah, cool. And it's unhappy, but it's going to have to deal with it. Maybe it wants these as rows. It's still unhappy. Yeah, let's have another think about the order here. There's this interpolation thing for like filling in the gaps, which I've remembered that MATLAB does. It's giving me all sorts of error messages. It's not very happy. Because I don't know how interp1 works. I haven't used this in ages. Interpolates to find v key the values of the underlying function. X, v is f of x, and the query points xq. If you give it x, v, so I should give it control x, the values of g, and the x points I would like are all of these. And I can go method, but like a spline. And it's really unhappy because of my brackets, because I put a close bracket in twice. Hey, okay. So this lets us go from 0.4 to 0 to 0.4 again. Spline. And even better, it lets us go up to 0.6.5 really easily. 2 hours of just persevere, we can do this. So that's nice. There's a little bit, I haven't got the knots on the end of the spline right here. Let's try cubic, is that nicer? It's the same thing. But this is maybe how I force it to go through the stream colours, by forcing these particular values at particular points. So like, because I could do the red and blue at the same time to say what I want, and I can do as many of these as I like actually. Right, we're going to do it. This is the finale. We're at 4 o'clock, but we're going to go for it. We're going to forget everything we know about actually sending trigonometric functions through these things, and we're going to try just one last time to get this to go through stream colours. And there are the opportunity here to do multiple stream colours, so I'm excited. Okay, 3 minutes, let's go. So we've got our first colour here is 255, 102, 179, that's a nice pink colour. And then I'm going to be greedy, I'm going to put 4 points on here. This one's going to come back at the end, so I'll do that. 182 to get it back to pink at the end of the thing. 179, but then in between I'm going to get it to go through the light blue that we've got under chill maths, which is 66, 191, 221, and I'm going to try and get it to go to the dark blue that we have as well. The dark blue on the background of chat there is 8, 75, 131. These should all be divided by 255, so they're in range. So now this is probably going to go wrong, but what this should do is plot curves in the top 3 that go through some sensible numbers, not going outside 0 and 1, and then at the bottom show me some gradient that goes between that pink on the edge, that light blue, that dark blue, back to pink. Fingers crossed. Hey, that's almost. It's not quite, but it's almost. It's really unhappy with me. We can work out why in a second. But it is going from, it's going a little bit negative around here. Is it going a little bit negative? 95%, we're almost there. Why is it cross over here? It's going to cross, this scale's only going to 0.6, it is cross about this negative bit. It's only a little bit. So I'm gonna, should we switch to linear? Linear's safe. Oops. Linear's just straight lines like this. It doesn't look great, right? It does hit. Pink, light blue, dark blue, pink. It looks really rough around the edges, right? So the idea of using these different interpolation modes is to get different sort of behaviour in between. I sort of want to do the splines again. Was it on cubic before or was it on spline? Oops. When will I learn not to double click the line? Yes, the spline's going slightly negative there. So these are the modes, ways to join the dots. Splines are really cool. It's like the curve that you have in Paint actually. Why can't I select that? Oh, so splines are the thing you have in Paint that is a way of joining points together in a nice smooth way that respects the, I'm slightly off the screen, a way that respects the gradient. So what you're doing when you draw one of these in Paint is you're setting the start point and the end point, but then you're also controlling the gradient over here. Would you like it horizontal or vertical or down or left, right? Gradient, yeah. Bezier curves. I think they're an example of splines. Anyway, this is a different sort of spline, so maybe I shouldn't say too much about that. I'm just going to stick an abs on here. It's clumsy, but it works. So if I zoom in on that red curve, it's doing something a little bit dodgy around here. But just force it to be positive, that'll be all right. And there we go. We got pink to light blue to dark blue to pink. Excellent. Let's really quickly port it back to the dogs. We're going to port this back over here, just for the big finish. So X is 1 to N over N because it's expecting numbers between 0 and 1. And then colour is supposed to be red. This is ambitious. Green. Blue. I can't remember which way around colour is supposed to be actually, but let's just see if that works. Oh, it's so ambitious to just hit that and go for it. No, it wasn't happy. Because these are supposed to be the other way around. Gold should be maybe the other way around. J, yeah, it's expecting them this way round. Hey, why are they all in a line? Those are on the colour scheme now. I don't know why they're all in a line. Why did that happen? Oh, X is a reserved. X is a reserved thing. I changed all the X coordinates. Whoops. Clumsy use. There you go. All on colour scheme with the pinks and the blues and the dark blues. We did it. Intense solo. Put it all together. 4 o'clock. We got some points, kind of on the colour scheme for the thing. No weird shades of green in there, just pleasant pinks and blues, and surprising amount of purple. Top left there, dark blue, like the chat background. They're going to sort themselves out so that although they were in random positions at the start, out of the chaos, they're going to form some sort of order. And as they do that, oh, some of them, there's a kind of symmetry breaking thing here as well, which I won't bore you with, but like, they have to decide at some point if they're going clockwise or anti-clockwise. They're in random places. There's no reason it should be one way or the other. And there's some consensus forming going on here that the ones on the right, I think, want to go anti-clockwise. And the ones on the left are doing something really weird. But they should be sorting themselves out now. Trying to draw 1,000 frames at roughly 1 frame per second. Could you get 2 spirals? So I think with 2 spirals, my question would be, surely some of the points over here want to be going over there, and some of the points over here want to be going over there, because overall they form one loop. No individual dog knows this, but they're chasing each other in a sequence that includes all of the dogs. I think this is a nice job. I think we might have actually achieved something vaguely like what we set out to achieve. RFL. It's no longer a random colour scheme, it's ours. That pink is spot on. It makes me feel bad for using a Twitch default for this thing. I think it's now just dead fighting. I'll let it calm down while we wrap up the stream. I might zoom in on that bit. Okay. Good. Right. Okay. I feel like I got distracted from getting distracted from something, but you know, it's chill maths, isn't it? It's what we're going to do. Take care, Murray, everyone who's joined in today. Next week, maybe more number theory. Who knows? Maybe more number theory. It's not always this. Right. Okay. Quick zoom, because I can't resist zooming in on what are they up to. Have they sorted themselves out? They've picked quite a wonky ellipse. Oh, I'm not happy. I'm not. We've seen nicer ones in terms of. I think the ellipse flattens, squashes itself back in, but I might keep running this after the stream. Right, good. Okay, take care, everyone. See you next week. Woo.